Nonprofit boards are supposed to be a CEO's greatest fundraising asset, but in most organizations, that asset is sitting idle. Hi, I'm Celeste Carlson, founder of BoardSpark. Our first physical product, the No Ask fundraising deck, is designed to unlock that unused board potential. In the next few minutes, I'll share the problem I've seen up close and how I'm turning it into a scalable venture. In almost every conversation I've had with nonprofit leaders, the story is the same. The CEO is juggling programs, HR, finance, fundraising, and more. Though the board is technically responsible for supporting fundraising efforts, they don't have a clear idea of what that looks like in practice. CEOs tell me I need my board to help, but they don't have the time or energy to design a system or coach every board member one-on-one. Meanwhile, board members want to be useful but hear fundraising and think, go ask your friends for money. So they quietly opt out. BoardSpark exists to close that gap between intention and actionable behavior. The BoardSpark No Ask fundraising deck turns the vague request to support fundraising into 52 specific actions. At the end of each board meeting, every member picks one card that matches their time, capacity, and comfort level, then completes that action before the next board meeting. There are no cold calls, no awkward asks, just consistent human actions that move relationships forward. And my hypothesis is this. If every board member does this at every meeting, organizations can 10 or 15x their donor touchpoints in a year without multiplying staff effort. My primary customer is the CEO of a small to mid-sized nonprofit, about 500 to 10 million in revenue, who is still in the weeds and needs their board to be a real fundraising partner. In a market of over 1 million nonprofits, we have lots of trainings and donor software, but almost no tools for what board members actually do between meetings. The BoardSpark No Ask fundraising deck meets that need with simple, low barrier actions board members can take regardless of how comfortable they are with fundraising. Over the past year, I stepped back from consulting to focus on building a solution. I listened to nonprofit leaders, translated what I heard into a library of practical actions, and distilled those into this deck. The early response has been strong. Leaders immediately say, I can use this at my next meeting. Here's what I've learned. CEOs need ready-to-use prompts, not more frameworks. And those prompts have to fit into a short slot at the end of every meeting or they won't stick. My next step is a 3-month pilot with 3 to 5 nonprofits, gathering feedback from CEOs and board members before scaling. In parallel, I'm scoping a digital MVP so boards that meet virtually can access the deck online, sort by time and comfort level, use it in multiple languages, and eventually track which actions correlate with fundraising outcomes. BoardSpark is currently founder-led. I've worked in the nonprofit sector for over 25 years, and I've experienced this issue from all sides of the table. After moving to Kansas City in 23, I completed my MBA and certificate in nonprofit innovation, which pushed me to think differently about scale. Instead of asking, how can I help the next client, I started wondering, what can I build that would help thousands of nonprofits, not just the ones I work with directly? That's driven me to focus on innovation, scalability, and the kind of long-term legacy I want BoardSpark to have on the sector. That's where RVCC comes in. I know the problem deeply, and I've built a strong physical prototype. Now I need to turn it into a real venture. I'm looking for help shifting from a consulting model to a product-based model, setting pricing and packaging that work for small to mid-sized nonprofits, and designing a realistic go-to-market plan with the right channel partners. I also want guidance on scoping the first digital release. My processes so far show that I'm coachable and willing to adjust based on data. With the right support, BoardSpark can help thousands of nonprofit leaders stop fundraising alone and finally activate the boards they already have. Thank you.